Hey guys, it's Drake here, and here is another Drake's Derpy Creations. And today we will be reviewing the Maxim machine gun. I'm a big fan of World War II. This is actually created in World War One, put in service through World War One, kind of went out of service in World War Two. It wasn't the greatest gun by World War II because everyone had machine guns that were way better than the Maxim. But the Maxim was nevertheless universal technology because it was the first light machine gun, like set up and fire away for long periods of time. It was unlike most guns today, water cooled instead of air cooled. Water cooling, like the water coolant systems on guns, is a lot more effective, but a lot heavier and a lot harder to use. But like with the water coolant, you can fire for a lot longer bursts without it overheating. That was the advantage the Maxim had over other machine guns. So, just get rid of this little quick setup I made. It's actually probably the most pieces I've used on a gun so far. And yeah, let's get to it. You're going to need in all, let's see, I forgot to count the pieces beforehand. 12. You're going to need 12 pieces. I'm sorry for the delay. It's just I failed to count beforehand, and yeah. So this is about double like the larger guns that I've done before, like the RPG, and definitely larger than the mortar. The mortar was pretty small. But yeah. Anyway, let's get started. So, first part you're going to need is one of these. And what you do is take one of these, which aren't very uncommon. I mean, I've seen them in a lot of sets. Not very hard to get. This one is a little more tricky, but yeah. It's nonetheless pretty easy to get. And like another Lego gun builder that I saw on the internet, I do not believe in cutting or melting, gluing any of my pieces because, like him, I believe it's cheating and it's not how you're supposed to use Legos. And next piece we're gonna pop on right here. This one's definitely pretty common too, but it's not really so much a sight as it is just like the piece that you're gonna connect the chain clip to, and it just adds a little bit of detail that's not on the real Maxim, because actually yeah, the folding sights were on the Maxim, I believe. Yeah, they were. And they're not really folding sights, but this is like a Maxim with the sights folded down. But anyway, let's keep building the gun while I babble on talking. Another piece you're going to need, this one. It is definitely less common than most pieces I've used. These two are going to be the most uncommon pieces in the whole set. Well, the whole gun. So yeah, this piece will go right here, and that is part of what you're going to put the tripod on. Next part you're going to need is the other uncommon piece, and you set it like that. So it's kind of like the big barrel that held the water coolant, because there was a big barrel that was wrapped around the little barrel that had the water coolant in it. And next part, you all know what these are. They're levers. They're very, very common. and to be honest with you, pretty easy to use for this. And then you pop this one right on there. So yeah, that is the tripod. You can adjust it in many other ways so it fits stuff. Like over on here, the nice part about using this is the fact that when you put it in, you can sort of spread it out so it won't really move. It was better adjusted earlier, but there, it kind of holds itself in place, and you can put a guy behind it, and it looks pretty cool. The vents for steam from the hot water were, like, I couldn't really get a good mimic for it, so I just used these vents. And yeah, that is your Maxim machine gun almost finished. These pieces are kind of falling apart. And last but not least, well, it's not last but not least, but this is just aesthetics. You don't need this. It's cool to have, but it's not mandatory that you have it. But it would be useful to have some container like this, because this chain is pretty big and doesn't really fit in. It doesn't look the greatest on the ground. So yeah, that is the Maxim machine gun. Tell me if you like what I'm about to do, because I really want feedback on this. But I'm going to add like a interesting fact about historic guns, like this one. The weird fact about this gun is that in World War I, the British troops, who were the ones who used the Maxim machine gun, actually would pee inside the barrel when they ran out of water or didn't have enough water to use, so that they could keep the gun active. Over time, this actually would cause wear and tear on the barrel, but why would you care? At least you're staying alive for the moment. That is a weird fact that I found out, and yeah, this is the finished product of the Maxim machine gun. Yeah. And that is our third creation so far on Drake's Derpy Creations. Expect one next week. It's going to be interesting. Bye!